Oh, shit. Forgot I was fucking recording, man. Was Monday Night Raw good tonight? Or did I end up playing fucking Pokemon Go? Let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? JD from New York here. Monday Night Raw tonight, July 11th, 2016, from the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, Michigan. There's a lot to go over, man. It was a Monday Night Raw. Honestly, I really didn't have any expectations going on into, but they ended up delivering a very, very good show. Okay, so we're going to talk about everything. We're going to break down Vince McMahon's decision about who runs Smackdown and who runs Monday Night Raw. We'll go over the Wyatt family and the compound match that they had with the New Day. We'll go over the Club and John Cena. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose had an unbelievable segment tonight, which we'll go over. And the debut of the Rollins Report, in which he interviewed Roman Reigns. So we'll go over all that, man. Before I do that, I do want to make one quick mention. I did upload Off The Script, episode 125, part number 4, an hour before Monday Night Raw. So if you guys want to go check that out, or if you missed it, or if you missed your sub boxes, if you guys want your daily fill of news and rumors, I got you covered on Off The Script. Part 4 of episode 125. Link is down in the description, and I'll post an annotation on the screen right now for you guys to go check that out. Now, Monday Night Raw, man. We were given a very, very good show tonight. I will say that. WWE, especially after last week, they didn't have anything to go off of last week, so I was hoping we would get a good Monday Night Raw. And WWE delivered a very, very decent show tonight from Detroit. It was pretty much built around Vince McMahon coming out, which that didn't happen until about 10:55. And he was going to be there to make a huge announcement in regards to the WWE Draft and the brand extension happening next Tuesday. I will be doing live coverage of the draft. You do not want to miss it. Any news or rumors I will talk about, I will definitely let you guys know on Off The Script and through the week on my YouTube channel. Now, Monday Night Raw, like I said, was built around Vince McMahon. And the closing segments we seen tonight really didn't surprise anybody. They left you with a cliffhanger, though. We pretty much knew going into this that Vince McMahon was going to choose Shane McMahon and Stephanie McMahon to run Raw and SmackDown, respectively. Now, the way they went about it is they're really hammering the fact home that they want this to be right down the middle, separated, Raw and SmackDown. They don't want anything to do with one another. It is strictly competition to Vince McMahon. He wants bloodshed. He wants his children stabbing themselves in the back, cutthroat behavior, slitting of the throat, breaking the rules. Vince McMahon even said, I don't give a shit if you break the law tonight, as long as you don't get caught. So what that means to me is that, number one, WWE is taking this brand split and draft very seriously. Number two, they are trying to separate Raw and SmackDown and create completely separate entities. Vince McMahon says that he wants everything from merchandise sales to live house show revenue to ratings, social media interaction, everything you can think of that happens with the WWE, it will all be split between Raw and SmackDown. And Vince McMahon wants gladiator-type competition. He wants Russell Crowe-type competition. He wants both of his children inside that fucking Coliseum spilling blood. He wants bloodshed. And I liked that aspect. I really did like that aspect of Vince McMahon coming out there and pretty much saying, this is the way it needs to be. I'm the one making the decisions. I'm appointing both of you your own shows, and I get what I want now. I gave you what you wanted. I get what I want, and what I want is fucking chaos. And that's what Vince McMahon wants in the very end. We obviously got Shane McMahon chosen for SmackDown, which to me, I like that because Shane McMahon is younger. He's more in tune the way he comes off as a television character. He comes off more in tune with the WWE product. And the way I see it is I see SmackDown being the younger show. And going into this draft, I had a feeling that SmackDown was going to come out on top and be better than Monday Night Raw. And I still firmly believe that. I'm still going with my intuition that SmackDown is going to be the A show. There's several different factors there why I believe that. Number one, the hour differential. SmackDown is going to be 2 hours. Monday Night Raw is going to remain at 3 hours. That extra hour from Monday Night Raw is going to kill the show with half of a roster. I'm telling you right now, I've been explaining this for months now. That third hour is what kills Monday Night Raw. People are bored of the product at that time. The rating in that last hour just completely destroys the overall rating of the show. 3 hours is way too long, especially for a live audience that has to deal with superstar tapings and main event tapings, and then us at home that don't get that type of wrestling action at home. We usually just get the Monday Night Raw, but what we get is commercial after commercial, less and less wrestling every week, more promos every week. It's pretty much a hassle to sit through. SmackDown's going to be at 2 hours. It's going to be the younger show. It's going to be the more vibrant show. It's going to have Shane McMahon as the commissioner overseeing the entire product on television. He's coming off as more youthful. And I believe SmackDown is going to be an NXT light. I think it's going to try and mimic NXT, and it's going to be what NXT is on Wednesdays, on Tuesdays. Monday Night Raw, I don't know what's going on with Monday Night Raw. I really do not. I think Monday Night Raw is going to be floating up Schitt's Creek after the WWE draft. That's just the way I feel. That's the way I've been feeling for months now. I don't see this being good at all. Monday Night Raw is getting the raw end of the deal, no pun intended. But tonight, Shane McMahon was chosen for SmackDown. Stephanie McMahon was chosen for Monday Night Raw. And you talk about making Darren Young great again. You talk about making Donald Trump and the United States great again. Make America great again. Monday Night Raw is never going to be great again with Stephanie McMahon in charge as the commissioner of Monday Night Raw. To me, that just reeks of same old, same old. We're getting the same imagery on Monday Night Raw. After a brand split, after a draft that's supposed to revitalize the product. But here I am coming out 1 week removed from the draft, and I see the same old imagery on Monday Night Raw with Stephanie McMahon. Who is she going to choose as her commissioner? Or as her general manager, I should say. WWE flip-flopped back and forth on the titling of who's going to run SmackDown. First it was the COO, then Vince McMahon renamed it the commissioner. So now Shane is the commissioner of SmackDown, and Stephanie is the commissioner of Monday Night Raw. So Vince McMahon now is going to have them appoint general managers for each brand. So who is Stephanie going to appoint as her general manager? There's only one name in the book, and that name is Triple H. I don't see anybody else being chosen as a general manager. And again, it goes back to making Monday Night Raw great again. You're not going to make Monday Night Raw great again if you're going to institute and incorporate the authority back in charge on Monday Night Raw. People don't want to see it. It's been done for the last 3.5 years, and it doesn't issue in a new era. It doesn't issue in that new era initiative. Meanwhile, Shane McMahon, we don't know who he's going to end up choosing as a general manager for SmackDown. It could be anybody. It could be Daniel Bryan. It could be someone youthful that goes along with the youth movement and the new era on SmackDown. It could be Daniel Bryan. It could be a returning Kurt Angle with all the rumors that we heard. It could be literally anybody, you know? So I like that WWE left that cliffhanger for next week. They didn't give away all their eggs in one basket. So WWE gave you a nice hook for next week's show. Vince McMahon comes out, and he reeks of truth when he comes out. You see Vince McMahon come out, and I know I'm not the only one who notices this. He comes out, he's acting as if he's better than everybody. He makes mention of, I don't give a shit what these people think. I'm going to do what I want. And that reeks of Vince McMahon truth. More times than not, he doesn't give a shit about what we say. He doesn't give a shit about our opinions about the WWE product. He's going to do what he wants when he wants, and he doesn't want to hear any lip from anybody else, and he plays that off on character. Yeah, Vince McMahon is great at what he does, but at least try and remain in character. Don't let your real-life persona, you know, seep into the audience and in your promos like that, because it just fucking irritates me. You know, WWE and Vince McMahon should be listening to the minority of the audience. They should be listening to ideas from social media on how to make the product better. But that's just me. And things like that just irritate me when Vince McMahon comes out and says that, and he does it every fucking time. He does it every fucking time he's on TV. Oh, I don't give a shit about what these people think. These people are meaningless and worthless to me. You know, I get it, that's, you know, Mr. McMahon, but give me a fucking break already. I don't like that. It just irritates me for some reason, but whatever the case may be, I don't want to harp on Vince McMahon too long. He was there. He got the job done. Overall, it was a very, very good segment, and it definitely leaves a cliffhanger for next week's show. Now, the other cliffhanger that we seen tonight as far as next week's show, and I was slightly disappointed that it did not happen tonight, and that is the fact that Dean Ambrose pretty much issued an open challenge for Seth Rollins to come and try and take the WWE Championship away from him on Monday Night Raw. I thought we were actually going to get a WWE Championship match tonight at the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, and this show could have definitely used it. But I didn't think they wanted to do it, and I didn't think they wanted to pretty much step on Vince McMahon's toes, because they wanted the McMahon family saga to be #1 top priority on Monday Night Raw, as always with the McMahons. They got to make sure that they're the most important people in the company, no matter who's on the fucking payroll, no matter who's breaking bones and limbs and spilling blood and getting injured in the ring. McMahon's always got to be at the top of the list, and they made sure of that tonight. But Dean Ambrose, and I mentioned this on Off The Script, I mentioned this a few weeks ago on Off The Script as well, where Dean Ambrose had backstage heat. You know, Dean Ambrose is not the guy that was chosen. Dean Ambrose looks like he was given the WWE Championship out of pity at Money in the Bank, or because of Roman Reigns' suspension. They didn't know what to do. I don't know if they thought giving the title back to Seth Rollins so soon was the right decision. Everybody thought that was the right decision. You know, I don't know why they thought that giving the title back to Rollins was not the right decision. To me, I think giving the title to Ambrose is just giving the title to Ambrose out of pity. They made a rash decision in giving Ambrose the Money in the Bank and then having him cash in. Yeah, it was a great moment. Yeah, it was a record-setting moment because all three guys held the WWE title in one night, all three members of The Shield. I don't remember any other faction in WWE history to ever do that. But I feel like it's a pity party for Dean Ambrose. So you legitimately, you know, change plans to revolve this entire summer angle around The Shield when you know for a fact this isn't how WWE wanted it to go. They fucked, potentially, Kevin Owens from winning the Money in the Bank, all only to give it to Dean Ambrose and have him cash in at Money in the Bank on Seth Rollins, all because of Roman Reigns' suspension. I don't like that aspect. But with Dean Ambrose rumored to be getting heat, I think a lot of that heat was just a mere rumor. I don't know why this man would have heat. I don't know why anybody would be disappointed with the way he is and is carrying himself as the WWE Champion. Tonight, Dean Ambrose looked absolutely at the top of his game. The promo that he cut was fucking brilliant. I never seen Dean Ambrose as serious and as locked in and as a viable threat to anybody else on the roster than he did tonight. What he did tonight, he should have did against the likes of Brock Lesnar. I don't know why we didn't see this Dean Ambrose against Brock Lesnar. Yeah, this is Seth Rollins. Yeah, this is the WWE Championship. But this is the Dean Ambrose that we want as the lunatic fringe. You know, he's all fun and games. Yeah, we understand that. He likes to let loose. He likes to be a little bit comedic. But this is the lunatic fringe that we need to see. This is the lunatic fringe that people want to see. Dean Ambrose completely turned the switch on and gave us the best promo of his entire WWE career. And he had someone great to work off of. Seth Rollins did just as great with his promo. He was stern in the face and said point blank, I am going to take back my title, and I don't give a shit what anybody has to say. And both men completely worked off of one another, fed off one another, and with the absence of Roman Reigns, have been doing a fantastic job at building this triple threat match all on their own. Now, the one thing that I did not like is that they left an open challenge there, and I legit thought we were going to get a WWE Championship match tonight, which would have been absolutely fantastic. Would have been a cherry on top of the cake for this Monday Night Raw. But there are several reasons why the WWE did not give it away right now. Number one, Justin LaBar. I read a tweet from him on Twitter, and he said the reason why this match is happening next week, more than likely, is the fact that it is the last Monday Night Raw before the draft, and it's the last opportunity for WWE to end a WWE Championship match in a screwjob finish, which will ultimately usher in another championship. So I don't know whether that means Seth Rollins is going to win the WWE Championship on a screwjob finish and be crowned the new champion, and Dean Ambrose is going to throw a hissy fit, maybe get drafted to SmackDown or Raw. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he becomes the new champion of a secondary brand. I don't know. But that is his logic. Now, my logic, before even concocting that idea, was the fact that WWE is going to load up their last Monday Night Raw before the draft, and they want to go out with a bang. They want to go out with a huge explosion for the last Monday Night Raw that we see in this stale era, or whatever fucking era they're calling it. The draft is going to issue in the new era. So that was my logic behind it. They didn't want to give it away. They didn't want to give it away too soon. And like I said before, they didn't want to have the title match trump Vince McMahon's decision. Because the WWE Championship, in all honesty, if you're going to give a championship match on Monday Night Raw, which we don't get a lot of at all, you want it to be the most important thing on your show. And with Vince McMahon there announcing what's going to happen with the draft, that's my reasoning why it did not happen. But next week, WWE is giving us a WWE Championship match for the first time in a while. I can't remember when we're getting a championship match. Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose on Monday Night Raw. I think the last championship match was Roman Reigns versus Sheamus, if I'm not mistaken, if my memory serves me correctly. But forget that noise. We're getting two guys who legit can work, and I know for a fact they're going to deliver a great WWE Championship match on the last edition of Monday Night Raw before the draft on July 19th. So that segment was fantastic. Both men deserve a fucking kudos. Unbelievable segment by both men. They have created hype for this triple threat match minus Roman Reigns. And I knew that they would. Roman Reigns, to me, seems like a hindrance. Him being there or him not being there would make absolutely no fucking difference. So they're making Roman Reigns, and the sad thing is, they're making Roman Reigns, the work that Rollins and Ambrose are doing to create interest for this match, they're making Roman Reigns look like the third most important part of this puzzle. They're making Roman Reigns look like the weak link. They're making Roman Reigns seem as if he's not even needed in this feud. And you don't want that to happen. But what can WWE do when you got two fucking superstars in Ambrose and Rollins, two of the guys on the roster that you really built up as legit superstars? There's nobody else that they've groomed in the last couple of years that you can label superstar. These guys are the crown jewels right now of the WWE. And if you want to lump Roman Reigns in there, by all means, please do so. To me, he's not a crown jewel yet. He's not playing the role that he should be playing right now because WWE is being ignorant. And I don't need to reiterate that again to you guys because you all know how I feel. But Rollins and Reigns and Ambrose, legit, if you want to think about it, whoever's on that roster, those are the three biggest guys that they built up to create, to make legit superstars. There's nobody else. There's nobody else. Yeah, there's other guys there that are on their way up, like the Zayn's and the Owens and the Nevilles and, you know, the Ballers who are coming up. You know, Ziggler never got there. The Corbins, the Cruises. WWE has pieces there that they can create new guys. They got talent to take to that next level. Will they do it? I don't know. But we've been invested in these guys for so long. There was no doubt in anybody's mind that they were going to be the upper class of the WWE. And now we're finally seeing what these guys are capable of. We knew that they were fucking great. Tonight was an eye-opener. Tonight was an eye-opener with that promo. You know, Rollins was decent on the mic. I never considered Rollins great on the mic. Same thing with Ambrose. I never considered him great on the mic. Tonight, they moved to that next level. Tonight, both were great. They both built hype for that fucking main event. They both did it without Roman Reigns, and both made Roman Reigns look absolutely fucking worthless, as if he wasn't even needed in that main event match. Great work by both men. I can't say anything better than what I said, and you gotta give it off to them, man. You gotta tip your cap to them. It was just fucking unbelievable by both men. Easily the best segment on Monday Night Raw. Now, those were the two biggest selling points of the show. The show actually started off with a battle royal. Now, this is where I kind of had the gut feeling of, oh my god, Monday Night Raw is going to be shit again. What am I going to do? I have to sit through another 3 hours of this fucking garbage. You know, after last week, I was hoping we would get a good Monday Night Raw, but we did get a battle royal, okay? It opened the show, and things didn't start off the way I wanted to. Now, The Miz, I don't know where they went wrong with the Intercontinental Championship. I really don't. They had The Miz fighting Sami Zayn and Cesaro and Kevin Owens. Then they had him just completely fall off the face of the earth and film a movie. And now he's back, and now WWE is putting the IC title on the line in 2 weeks with zero build. And they're giving us a number one contender battle royal with literally a week and a half to go before the pay-per-view, before Battleground. Which means the Intercontinental title has fallen out of the limelight once again. That the winner of this battle royal is going to have absolutely no build towards this title and The Miz, and we don't even know if they're going to be on the same brand anymore. So this is pretty much a throwaway match tonight on Raw. The match at Battleground is going to be a throwaway match, and it does nothing but fill 15 minutes of time slot on a 3-hour pay-per-view. But what I seen tonight is that the Battle Royal had nothing of interest. There was nobody in this match that made you believe this guy's going to win. Corbin might have been the only one, but what I seen was not a mid-card battle royal. I didn't see any number one contender, guy in there. I didn't see anybody that could be labeled as a number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship. I thought I was actually watching a tag team title battle royal because every fucking participant was part of a tag team. So, I don't know what WWE was trying to go for with this, but in the end, it ended up coming down to the guys that we thought would be there in the end. Del Rio, we seen Darren Young, we seen Baron Corbin, we seen Apollo Crews, Dolph Ziggler. I don't know why they had to go through an entire battle royal. If these were the 5 guys that were going to be there, in the end they should have gave us a fatal 4-way or a fatal 5-way to start the show, which would have been a lot better. There was no reason to see a Victor and a Connor and a Usos and a Bo Dallas and a Simon Gotch, Aiden English in this match. It was a waste of their fucking time. I would have much rather seen those guys in other matches, a tag team match, or something else along those lines. Why are they thrown into an Intercontinental Championship Battle Royal for the number one contender? It makes no fucking sense. It's like WWE just drew names out of a fucking hat and put them in the Battle Royal. I hate standard Battle Royals. I really do. They don't even interest me. Baron Corbin looked fantastic in this match, and I thought they were legit going to go with him in the Battle Royal. I thought Apollo Crews had a good chance of winning this. Del Rio got a nice reaction. Dolph Ziggler did pretty decent. But in the end, Darren Young wins the Battle Royal. He didn't eliminate anybody to win the Battle Royal. Now, I had a problem with Darren Young being in the Battle Royal to begin with because he didn't get no introduction. I didn't even see Bob Backlund for the first 5 minutes, but Bob Backlund was out there cheering him on. He was just in there like everybody else, as if 2 months of promo didn't even happen for Darren Young. So him being there and not getting a reaction and not getting an intro, especially for us in the lot, watching at home. I don't know about the live crowd, but he was just there. He was just like everybody else. He was made to look not important. And everybody on my Twitter said, JD, watch Darren Young win it. He's there. As soon as they noticed Bob Backlund, everybody kind of pieced the puzzle together and that Darren Young was probably going to win this, which he did. And Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin came down to the last 3 with Darren Young. They both eliminated themselves, and Darren Young didn't even have to lift a finger to win this Battle Royal. Now, he got a nice reaction out of all this. He got a great reaction. after he won the Battle Royal. People were chanting his name. Bob Backlund was celebrating in the ring. And Bob Backlund, I'll tell you what, man, for 60, 70 years old, the guy's fucking built like a fucking machine. He lifted Darren Young up in celebration as if he was a fucking lightweight. Bob Backlund has the strength of like fucking 10 men. And he looks great. He looks like a psycho, dressed in overalls and a fucking bow tie and a white dress shirt and slacks in the middle of the summer. But that's Bob Backlund for you. And Darren Young, listen, I'm not going to discredit Darren Young just yet. This could be a nice building block for him. If he can get some momentum behind him next week and win a match, now that he's debuted unofficially on Monday Night Raw with this Make Darren Great Again gimmick, I don't necessarily see it as an Intercontinental Championship reign, but if he gets some type of momentum and a win next week, maybe people will believe him as a viable threat for the Intercontinental Championship with 2 weeks to go. I don't know. I really don't know. This could be a stepping stone for Darren Young. He got a nice reaction tonight, and this is 1 week, yes. I don't know if that's going to transpire into the next week. I don't know if the next crowd, Providence, Rhode Island, I believe they're having Monday Night Raw next week. I don't know if that's going to pretty much transition into the next city. You know, he got a nice reaction in Detroit, and Detroit is becoming one of my favorite crowds for WWE Raw because they're very lively, they know what they want to see, they don't stand for no bullshit. So I don't know how that's going to transition into the next city. Detroit gave him a nice reaction, but Rhode Island might not even give a shit. So we have to see what happens. But it was a nice win for Darren Young. It was a nice moment. He got a nice reaction. I thought WWE could go with a different number one contender here. I really thought either Apollo Crews or not Darren Young, or Baron Corbin. But that's just me. I don't know. Darren Young ends up winning the Battle Royal. And that opened Monday Night Raw. We had Breezango versus the Lucha Dragons. And I like the team of Tyler Breeze and Fandango. I think they got a nice upside. They look great. They look the part. They gel very nicely together. And they actually came out on top in a decent tag team match, man. I hope WWE does not break up the tag teams for the draft. I hope all the tag teams on the roster right now remain together. I don't want to see teams broken up. I don't want to see Kalisto split away from Sin Cara because that would absolutely destroy Sin Cara and make him a fucking nobody. You know, I don't want to see Bubba Ray split from Devon or Devin, like Michael Cole said tonight. I don't want to see Big Cass and Enzo split away. That's been rumored for fucking months now. I don't want to see Breezango split up. You get my point. I don't want to see tag teams split up with the draft because that's a lame way to break up a fucking tag team. And the latest rumor is now that the New Day is going to be split up. So I don't know. But they got a nice win tonight. Breezango, super kick to Kalisto by Tyler Breeze, and he gets the pinfall at 4 minutes and 20 seconds. I think they're going to do very well if they do get drafted to SmackDown. I don't know. I don't know how the WWE is going to handle the tag team division. Like I said, I think the tag team division should have one champion floating between two brands, and we both get each brand with some tag team action from every team in the company. I don't think they are going to add another set of titles. I think that's a mistake. I don't think there's enough teams on the roster that WWE really gives a shit about to create fresh new feuds every now and then. But we're going to see what they do. I just don't want to see them split the fucking teams and give both shows tag team titles. I think that's going to be a mistake because we're not going to get feuds, new feuds. It's going to be stale very quickly. I don't want to see none of that. Okay, so that's the least. That's the worst thing that the WWE could do. Next, we had Sheamus versus Zack Ryder. Pretty much Zack Ryder issued a challenge to Rusev, and in the midst of this, Sheamus came out of nowhere, beat the shit out of him. Sheamus beat Zack Ryder in a match with the bro kick, 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Rusev then, after the match, destroys Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder did get some offense, so I'm assuming Rusev now accepted Zack Ryder's open challenge for the United States Championship. He's going to be out on Battleground, and they're going to have a match. So that's that. So we're going to get a U.S. Championship match at Battleground, Zack Ryder versus Rusev. I honestly think WWE is just piecing this pay-per-view together because, you know, number one, they don't give a shit. Number two, it's the last pay-per-view before the brand split, so they're just trying to get a card together, and they're more concerned about making sure the draft on Tuesday on SmackDown is the most important. Moving on here, Kevin Owens was supposed to have a match with I don't know who. Sami Zayn was on commentary. Sami Zayn apparently was a threat to Kevin Owens, and he had Sami Zayn ushered out of the arena by the referees. Stephanie McMahon came in. Referees didn't want to listen to Owens. Stephanie said, listen, just listen to Owens and go get Zayn and get him out of there so Kevin Owens could have a fucking match. So Kevin Owens and Cesaro ended up fighting. And Sami Zayn was thrown out of the building. He was not a threat to Kevin Owens. These two had a very, very good match. Went about 12 minutes. Torture rack neck breaker. Kevin Owens beat Cesaro. Very good match here. In the end, Kevin Owens gets on the microphone, takes Byron Saxton's headset, says that he is the best at what he does on this microphone in the ring, and then out of the crowd comes Sami Zayn, attacks him. These guys literally will be fighting forever, and I can't wait to see this match at Battleground. It's probably going to be the match of the night. If you had to choose one, I'd choose Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. These guys are great, and all I hope is with the draft, they both get drafted to the same brand, because I think any brand with both Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn easily has matches up the wazoo for fucking all year. You know, they got matches out the ass. So those two guys, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, going to do a fantastic job. Hopefully they get both drafted to the same brand. So Kevin Owens beats Cesaro with a torture rack neckbreaker at 12 minutes and 24 seconds. Heath Slater versus Titus O'Neil. Nobody gives a shit. Clash of the Titus, 3 minutes and 12 seconds. Titus O'Neil beats Heath Slater. Sasha Banks fought Dana Brooke, or Botch Brooke, however you want to fucking call her. I was looking for the botch. Did not find one today, so the streak ends at 4. Someone mentioned to me, I'm not sure if they are legit in that or not, but someone mentioned to me that she botched her entrance. I don't know. If someone can figure out if she botched anything today, let me know. Leave it in the comments down below. So, Sasha Banks beats Dana Brooke. They tried to make Dana Brooke look as good as she can. And Dana Brooke needs a little bit more believable offense. That's the one thing I've seen from this match. She needs more believable offense. You know, Dana Brooke, obviously, she's green. She's not going to be the greatest of all time in fucking 2 months. I am willing to give her a chance. But it's amazing how you look at the women who were pretty much green in NXT. You take a look at Alexa Bliss and how far she's come and how great she looks in the ring now. Dana Brooke should still be down at NXT, training along with Alexa, you know, gaining knowledge and honing her craft like Alexa Bliss down at NXT, but they moved her to the main roster, and she's floundering. She's suffering on the main roster. So I don't know what's going on. She needs to get with the program very quickly. They tried to make her look good, but in the end, she submits to the bank statement, and Charlotte pretty much is issuing another challenge to Sasha on Smackdown for Thursday, which will be taped on Tuesday. It's going to be Sasha and Dana Brooke again, and if Dana Brooke loses and Sasha Banks wins, I don't know whether they're going to give her a title match at Battleground or they're going to prolong it to SummerSlam. I hope they do not give Sasha the title match at Battleground, because I don't want to see it then. I want to see it at SummerSlam. One and done. Give me a nice feud. Give me some interest between both women, why they're fighting, build intrigue, and then give me the one match at SummerSlam. That's what I want. That's what I want. I don't think WWE is going to do that. I think they're going to jump the gun just like they did with the Triple Threat match, and they're going to give us Sasha versus Charlotte at Battleground for the Women's Championship. Going to end in some screwjob finish, and then we'll probably get the finale at SummerSlam. Enzo and Big Cass versus The Club. I could see these two teams feuding well after this feud is over between John Cena and AJ Styles. Enzo and Big Cass beat The Club via DQ when AJ Styles interfered. Everybody was saying, oh, John Cena is at the ESPYs. They're showing him on Twitter, you know, pretty much rehearsing for the ESPYs because he's hosting the ESPYs on Wednesday Night Live on ESPN. But lo and behold, John Cena comes out to save the day, and Cena was there. They teased he was in Los Angeles, comes in to make the save, and there was big John Cena chance at the end of that. He helped Enzo and Big Cass thwart off The Club, AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. And that was pretty much it, man. That was pretty much it. Dana Brooke and Sasha Banks was the last match we had before the main event segment with Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, and Stephanie. But all in all, Monday Night Raw tonight was good. I don't believe I'm not mentioning the Wyatt family. I gotta mention this, man. It wasn't in the notes. It's not here in my fucking review. Maybe because it wasn't even a real fucking match, you know? So people really didn't consider it a real match. It was more like a segment. And I'm going to end my Monday Night Raw review with this, okay? We're going to talk about the Wyatts and the New Day. A lot of people were up in arms about WWE copying the final deletion from TNA. Matt Hardy, broken Matt Hardy, and Brother Nero, Jeff Hardy. I understand where people's frustrations are coming from, and I totally agree with you. WWE, had this feud building for about 2 weeks. I don't know for a fact if this was in WWE's playbook to copy Brother Nero and Matt Hardy and this Final Deletion. I have no fucking idea. I don't know how long Final Deletion was in production. It might have been the same time frame. So we really don't know what happened with that. I'm assuming that WWE put this whole production together in a week. After they saw the Final Deletion, they went to some remote area and they filmed both teams beating the shit out of each other in a swamp-like area, okay? I understand people's frustration about WWE copying TNA. And WWE always states that TNA is not competition. They fail to mention TNA in any segment. They don't want to mention the name TNA on any of their programming. But what they did tonight proves to everybody that WWE considers TNA competition. There's no reason why they would want to outdo TNA if they're not competition for WWE. So that's the first thing that I thought of. Number two, the similarities were there, okay? Matt and Jeff Hardy, you watch the Final Deletion, and it was more of a fun type environment. You watch that, and nobody watching that is going to sit down and take anything they seen in that Final Deletion seriously. We sat down, we laughed, we enjoyed it. We had a smile on our face. There was fireworks. There was fucking Matt Hardy hiding behind a boat. There was fighting in a river. There was fucking fire. They were fighting in a fucking dirt pit. Jeff Hardy jumped off a fucking tree onto a ladder 40 feet high. There was the gardener who was tased. It was just a fun match. We sat there and we did not expect anything serious. It's not like we were watching a fucking Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker match where we're sitting down with bated breath to watch what happens. This was a fun match. So the Wyatts and the New Day, they took that and they turned it into something a little bit more serious. The Bray Wyatt character and the broken Matt Hardy character are completely different, okay? I would love to see a match between the two, now that I'm thinking about it. I think that would be fantastic, but Matt Hardy is broken because he is a man gone insane, and he knows that he had to live all his life in the shadow of Jeff Hardy. So he created a gimmick, this broken gimmick, which is crazy, a man who lost his fucking mind after all the years of neglect. That's what I see when I see broken Matt Hardy. Now you look at Bray Wyatt and what the WWE did with this compound match. The Bray Wyatt situation is a little bit more serious. It's a little bit more of a take on real life, or what you would see in a thriller or a fucking psychotic, sick horror movie. And that's the great thing about Bray Wyatt's character. You have more flexibility with Bray Wyatt. More so than you do with Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy, if you're going to compare Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy, they're very one-dimensional. Very one-dimensional, okay? Bray Wyatt is a little bit more flexible. He has the opportunity to be sick. He comes out and spews shit that we don't understand. He sounds like a fucking cult leader. Bray Wyatt has more facets to him than Matt Hardy does. So the entire environment that WWE tried to portray was a little bit more serious. We expected it to be a little bit more serious. Even though the New Day is fun and they're lighthearted and they go into every situation cracking jokes, this was a different New Day. WWE wanted to make this serious. Did it come off better than the Final Deletion? Of course not. Of course not. WWE went way overboard with the production. I'm thinking back to when Mankind and The Undertaker had their fucking Boiler Room Brawl. I want the WWE to give us a match like that, or at least a fucking 10-minute segment of those guys fighting in that type of environment. There was no theatrics, there was no cutscenes, there was no flashing lights all over the place. I felt like I had fucking, I don't know what the fuck was going on, man. I thought I was going crazy with all the fucking cutscenes and the lighting and the camera angles and the way that they portrayed the entire scene. I thought I was going fucking crazy. I thought I was losing my mind. If they gave you a fucking camera angle and a fucking camera crew filming these guys literally beating the shit out of each other with, camera angles here and there showing the different type of action, I would have been okay with it. But WWE really tried to outdo TNA as far as a movie production-like atmosphere, and I don't think it came off that well. I mean, I don't have any problem with it. I don't have any problem with the way the Wyatt family and the New Day interacted with each other. From what we've seen, it was brutal, you know? Wyatt family carrying around fucking axes and shovels and the action. I would have loved to seen that Raw stripped down without all the fucking theatrics. What they did in that compound match completely blew away TNA's final deletion. And I wish I would have seen that stripped down without all the fucking bullshit with WWE trying to outdo TNA. What they had underneath all that theatric was a great fucking match. Something that I'd be interested in seeing. And it plays right into the Wyatt family gimmick. You know? I would have loved to see more of that, but the way it was produced and the way it came off, it looked like a cheap knockoff of the final deletion, and that's where everybody's problem came from. That's where everybody's problem came from. The Wyatt family gimmick and the broken Matt Hardy gimmick are two completely different entities. Matt Hardy is very one-dimensional. Bray Wyatt is a fucking psychopath. He's a cult leader. He has more facets to him that makes him unique compared to Matt Hardy. So there's no comparing broken Matt Hardy and the Wyatt family. There is comparing WWE stealing an idea from TNA when they don't consider TNA any competition. That's where everybody's problem stems from. But what we've seen underneath the Wyatt family and all the fucking theatrics with the New Day in this compound match, I would have loved to seen just stripped down and raw if they gave us raw footage of these guys beating the shit out of each other in a swamp for 10 minutes without all the fucking masks and the lights and the fucking whatever else they did there, man. That's my only gripe with it. Other than that, it was okay. It wasn't something that I'm going to go back and rewatch on Monday Night Raw. But I just wanted to calm everybody down about comparing. It's two completely different entities. Yes, it looks like WWE stole an idea from TNA, but in the end of it all, TNA still gave you the better production. They gave you the original production. WWE, we know, tried to bite off and copy TNA. And they went a little bit overboard with the production. Like I said, the main thing is everything underneath that compound match was much better than what Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy did. I just wish WWE didn't go over the top trying to fucking, say, oh, this is how you do it, TNA. Fuck that, man. Still, in the end, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy come out on top with the unique, different backyard wrestling type atmosphere with the final deletion. That's my Monday Night Raw review, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think down below of everything regarding this Monday Night Raw, and I will see you guys on Off The Script on Friday. Make sure you guys check out Off The Script today that I posted up at 7:30 right before Monday Night Raw. If you missed it, I'll leave you a link down below and an annotation. And check out everything else I did all weekend long, man. Ton of content. Link down in the description. Like I said, hit that thumbs up. I'll see you guys later this week. I'm going to go play some Pokemon Go, and I'm going to get ready to catch me some Pokemon, man. That's what I'm doing with my evening. So I'll talk to you guys later on Friday, Off The Script, episode 126. Until then, I'm JD, and I'll talk to you guys later, man.